Here with head coach Anna Nimz as the Demons head back out on the road this coming week. Game against McNeese on Monday, and then another one, kind of a big opponent after that. We may talk about a little bit about that game, but Coach, first of all, talk to me about the win against the actual Southeastern team this past week. Always fun to get off to a good start in conference, 1-0, all that sort of stuff, but the way we were able to do it, couldn't ask for a better start to conference play, really.
Yeah, I thought the girls did a really nice job. Obviously, V just dominated the boards there in the first quarter to kind of get us back in the game. We got down really quick there at the beginning of the game, but once we caught back up and took that 2-point lead, it only grew from there, and the confidence in the players grew. Everybody was able to really contribute, so the pressure didn't just fall on V's shoulders. But we had 4 players dang near have double doubles. We had multiple players in double digit figures, double digit rebounds, 3, 4, 5 steals. Just they collectively played very intentional. They followed their scout defense really well. But I thought they played with a lot of intensity. And one of the words we wrote on the board was be relentless. And I absolutely think they were, at least in their effort. We were relentless in our effort. But it felt good. It felt good.
I mean, the first thing that jumps from that game, and I think hopefully the thing that you can carry forward into this week and really the rest of the year, was the way that we rebounded. Mm-hmm. Obviously, V was a big part of that, but what Clarence has done this year and just the team as a whole, obviously a big part of the game, but I feel like another confidence boost in that area specifically.
Yeah, I think Clarence was 1 rebound away from a double-double, right? But we had multiple players really right there. But everything was a collective effort, whether it was scoring, rebounding, defending, switching up who had the guard Collins, and so 7 and 10 were 2 of their main focal points, and being able to bounce different kids off of them and have equal resistance, was really good. I thought Clarence was phenomenal in her screen defense. She's just becoming an even bigger impact player for us, both defensively and offensively, and that's maybe something that we haven't always had. Is we've had a really good defensive post, but we haven't been able to just throw it into the 5 and just drive scoring. And I think Clarence is bringing that. I told her, I said, man, when I get a locked in Clarence, that's a first team all conference Clarence. And she giggles because I said when she's locked in, but she's a sweet kid. But collectively, I thought the girls did a good job. I thought our bench energy was phenomenal. And it's going to take everybody, especially in the Southland. I think the Southland's proven that anybody can beat anybody. We have teams that have Big 12 wins. We've got teams that have American wins, WAC wins, just across the board. Every team in our conference has gone to a level above and taken one. And so we're going to have to be good, and we're going to have to be good early. And I thought the girls had a good showing, right? A lot of things to correct, but I thought they had a really good showing.
You talk, obviously it's about the team and what we do collectively, but if you could focus in on Clarence a little bit and her development. I think she played every game last year as a freshman, through 8 games, 8 starts. Now, where have you seen her development continue to take those next steps into what you, like you said, you think she can be an all-conference player if she's, like I said, locked in? But
yeah, I think she's calmed down a little bit. We talk about her excited feet. She gets a little excited when she's supposed to be waiting for a screen, or a little excited when we're trying to run an offense. I think she's just maturing in the basketball world, and the game's slowing down to her a little bit. I think she always tries hard, and when you have that, you can pretty much do anything with a kid. But I think her basketball IQ has grown. I think her footwork around the rim has grown, and her scoring percentages at the rim, have grown. Still working on a lot of different things, but as a sophomore, to play backup minutes all last year, to come in and be dominating the minutes this year, I think she's done a really good job. Great vocal, floor captain at that with a lot of our defense. And so it's exciting to have her, and we still have other players that I think we can play in there. And so just being able to switch up our defense and our offensive looks based on our different post positioning, I think is good.
So as we talked about Monday's game against South McNeese, what is it? I mean, they're
the reigning champs. However you want to look at it, they are the reigning champs, whether they're in blue or green. Yeah. And so it's a tall task. They are playing with consistency. They're playing with a tremendous group of freshmen that very much fit into their style of play. They've been living high, and they've had a lot of success in their preseason with upper level wins and whatnot. But we're going to have to go in and take care of us. They have what they have, but we have what we have. And I believe in us wholeheartedly. But it's going to take 40 minutes. I think a compliment to now McNeese was SLU is just they're relentless, their defensive relentlessness. And, they have over 120 steals already this season. I think we're somewhere in the 50s. And that's not knocking our defense, because I think that's a staple for us. It just shows where their sense of urgency is, and also where they're getting a lot of easy buckets. So we're just going to have to be locked in. We're going to have to play with poise and pace, and we're going to have to take care of the ball. A lot of their points are coming off forced or unforced turnovers, just because of the chaos that they can play. With their intense on-ball defense and obviously backside knifing the passing lane. So it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to go in and yes, having a win at SLU was fun. But I'd actually like to go to McNeese and take on what was once SLU, because that's in the grand scheme, that is what it is. That group of young ladies and that coaching staff, those are the reigning champs. And so it's a tall task, but we're excited for the opportunity, and it's another Southland game. So no matter who you're playing, whether that's McNeese, SLU, UIW, and so on and so forth, like, it's going to be a dogfight for 40 minutes. And I think just about the entire conference, it's going to be, a 40-minute gauntlet every day.
And because we are still, not even 10 games into the entire season yet, it still feels like kind of one of those measuring stick kind of games. And like I said, you get the opportunity to do it against what is essentially the reigning champ. So an opportunity to grow, get better, win or lose on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real quick, got to ask you about the other game next week. Just the opportunity to play in those type of environments. Obviously, you've been to Nebraska and we've been to Kansas and that sort of stuff. But when you get the opportunity to play will probably be the number 2 team in the country.
They are.
Even into next week. It's a cool experience and opportunity to, like I said, this is what. And
you have to see it as that. Yeah. You have to see it as such. Yeah. Their defensive pressure is highly impressive. It's what Coach Schaefer's known for in his defensive philosophy. So if we want to talk about poise against McNeese, it's going to have to go up even tenfold versus Texas. Right now I think they're beating every team by 110, 12, 20. But it's not that kind of measuring game. It's an opportunity to play, yes, the very best of the best, top 2 in the nation. It's an opportunity to coach against incredible coaches, with Coach Schaefer and Coach Lovato and on down his line, but also just to play in that facility. I've heard it's very surreal, and what an opportunity to play in that kind of environment and witness and be part of it. I'm sure we'll be ready to take a deep breath by the end of that game. But it's about finding ways for us to grow and get better in that game. And that's what it is. And, who knows, go shock the nation.
Yeah, exactly. Coach, as always, thanks for your time.
Welcome.